It is time to breathe again on the latest breath of fresh air, Shorty. So, yes, it is me, Charles, again, doing this Shorty in place of Patrick Brackett today because he has a lot going on. Nothing bad, just a lot of technical stuff and job stuff that he's dealing with. So I am here to take his place for this shorty today, and I am here to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and their injury concerns. Well, actually, they're not even concerns. They're just flat out guys getting hurt and being gone for the year. So uh, we know looking at the situation with the Baltimore Ravens. All right, first of all, let's just look at the situation as a whole and the team outlook for this regular season that began Thursday night with the game between the Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Tampa Bay won 31 to 29. But with Baltimore, they're a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. Now they've made the divisional playoff 2 years in a row. They got knocked out by the Tennessee Titans a couple years ago, and last year they were knocked out by the Buffalo Bills. But this is a team that has dreams of going to the Super Bowl, and they have a roster that could potentially get there. A lot will have to do with Lamar Jackson and his evolution into a better passer. Complementing that with his running ability. We know what he can do on the ground, and I think he's a pretty decent passer. Can he get better? Sure. I know there are a lot of critics out there who think he is not a good passer at all. I'm not going to go that far. I think he is a good passer. I think he can make some plays, but it just hasn't come together in the playoffs. And when you see better teams and better defenses that are going to gear themselves towards stopping what you do best, that's where Lamar Jackson has to make the step up. He's going to have to be able to make those throws, and it also helps if you have some weapons to throw to. Well, they re signed the tight end, Mark Andrews, and they brought in Rashard Bateman and Sammy Watkins for receivers to kind of give him some help in terms of the weaponry he can throw to. Then you can move Hollywood Brown into the slot. So Baltimore's weapons look better as a whole. So we'll see what they can do with the passing game, and it's gonna be imperative he's able to do something with the passing game now because the running backs have taken a hit. You've seen J.K. Dobbins, he went down. Uh, I think he tore his ACL in the last preseason game against the Washington football team. So he's gone for the year. And then yesterday, news came that Gus Edwards, the guy who was in line to get all those carries, uh, now he's gone for the year with a torn ACL. It's awful. And then on top of that, on the defensive side, it was reported that Marcus Peters, their corner, has gone down with the torn ACL too. So these are the reports that are out there, and if everything's confirmed, then those are some key pieces that are missing from the Ravens' offense and defense. So at the running back spot, they have brought in Devontae Freeman. Le'Veon Bell is on the practice squad, and I had heard they might have signed Latavius Murray, who was released by the New Orleans Saints a few days back. So we'll see how those replacements come in. But the big picture is with all these injuries that have happened, a lot of people are going to ask the question toward the Ravens head coach, John Harbaugh, about the way he handles the preseasons. Now, he's been known to be a guy that is going to play his players, he's going to practice them hard, and it's in preparation for the regular season. And then we know there are a few coaches who have gone the route of the starters are not going to play. We're going to rest them until it is time to play in the regular season. Uh, that could work, that could not work. Just depends on how everything is managed. It depends on what you qualify as work. If you're saying the joint practices are enough to get work, then I guess you're good with not letting your players play in the preseason games. But if you are one of those coaches like John Harbaugh who says we're going to take this time to get the players as much work as possible, within reason, we're not going to play the players all game, every game during the preseason, but we want to make sure they get used to some game action. And part of that is that the risk for injuries goes up. So it's a give or take there. If you don't play your players, then you run the risk of them not getting in game shape, not having the sharpness when it comes to game action, and it's going to take a little bit to rub off the rust, depending on the player, of course. But if you are one of those coaches who say, hey, I'm going to play these guys and get them the timing, well, you're getting them the timing, but injuries may increase or the chances of injuries may increase. So, look, personally, this is how I feel about it. I believe the way John Harbaugh does his business, I'd rather go with that approach than the Sean McVay, the coach for the LA Rams approach of sitting the players and not playing them until the regular season starts. And the reason being is because I like to get the players going. I like to get them the work in game action before the regular season starts, or if I was a coach. But that's how I would approach it as well. And I know you've heard Patrick and myself talk about this to some good detail on previous shows. But I think there's going to be a lot of grief that's thrown on John Harbaugh as to why these players are going down because of injuries. Injuries can happen anytime, any day, and they don't even have to be during workouts. They don't even have to be during games. They could be during normal time. You're walking around. You can get hurt walking. You can get hurt running. You can get hurt doing anything these days. You can have, yeah, accidents happen at your house. So to try to play it safe in that regard, nah, that to me is, I don't want to call it weak, but I just think it's a little too cautious. It's a little too safe. You have to let these guys play. You have to let these guys go out there, train, do the things they need to do and want to do in a lot of cases in order to get better and improve. If they get hurt, that's the unfortunate part of it, but the risk of injury in my estimation, should never, ever, ever be a reason why you are trying to play it safe, why you don't want these guys to go out there and play. And I get it. I understand it. I understand the cautiousness of it. So, okay, maybe I shouldn't say ever, ever. But for me, let these guys play. Let them get some timing, and then when you feel they get their timing in there, then you go ahead and pull them out. But if they get injured in week one from not playing, then what's the excuse going to be now? So I just feel like you should go out there, just let them play, get the work in, get them used to hitting in pads, and then whatever happens, happens because we can't forecast anything these days. We have to live for the moment, and I believe in letting those players get the timing down, get sharp before it is time to go. So that's what I'm breathing on for today. Y'all make sure y'all go to the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. So I hope you guys enjoy this shorty. Don't be afraid to leave comments, good, bad, or indifferent. You know we will get back to you as soon as possible. And in the meantime, everybody enjoy their Friday and enjoy the weekend as well. Since tomorrow on Saturday it will be September 11th, uh, take some time to pay tribute to the victims and to the people and the family members lost from that horrific attack 20 years ago on the World Trade Center towers in New York City. With that, everybody take care, enjoy the weekend, take some time to reflect, and we'll talk to you next week.